Okay, so creating the post for the final project proposal should include all of the assets that you're using and a description of of your project and any features that you want to add to the project. So if you say I want to have like a specific feature and it ends up that you're not able to, complete that feature or it doesn't work correctly, that's okay. You're not going to be graded on whether you actually complete everything. This is just setting up the concept for the final project just so we can review it together next week. So we'll want to kind of collect everything that we're using for the project. I have a folder with all the art that I used and the sounds, although I don't think I have the background music, so I might need to download that again, or maybe I'll just link to that. I don't think I have it in my downloads folder either. So yeah, I'll probably just link to that. Either way is fine. But yeah, I have the sprites that I'm using, and I can use links to the sounds, and then I'll include like a screenshot of the UI as well. So when I make a screenshot, for now, what I can do is use the full screen version of the project. So I can go to share and go to full screen and open this here. And first, let's make sure to set the game state back to 0. Okay. And so we'll publish this on itch.io, and so we'll have like a better format for what it'll look like when we finish up the final project. But for now, this is a good place to start. If I want to get some documentation, I'll want to make a screenshot of what the game looks like, and so maybe I'll make the window like this, or if you want, you can use the little arrows. I don't really like using the little arrow to like grab a rectangle because I feel like it's not easy to get the right the right screenshot that way. So you can open up the project in a new window and take a screenshot of that. You can also use our save an image of the canvas. So if I turn this back on, right now it's called character.jpg because we used this a while ago, but let's just call this screenshot. So however you want to do it, we want to get an image of how the game looks. So I'm going to run this again, and I'll grab a screenshot of this sort of intro screen. So let's go to the downloads folder. So there's that screenshot. I'll get the instruction scene. So let's see if that... So this one is a little annoying to use because every time I click, it's going to make a new one, even if I click on something else. But there we go. And then I'll click start, and maybe I'll take a couple screenshots of the gameplay. And then I can use those as sort of the graphics that I'll use. The quality isn't that great, but that's okay. So I've got my intro screen, my instructions, delete that one, and I'll just do like a couple screenshots. So I'll get rid of these and just say screenshot 1 and screenshot 2. And I'll upload all these guys into a new post. So I'll go to OpenLab, and I've got to log in. And so I will upload these guys into a new post. And it's going to create this like little gallery. You could leave that, or you could, play around with it. You can also, if you want to move some of the images around, you could do that. So maybe I want this image to be the main image. I can move it down here. And let's see, I can add, I can adjust the gallery, or you can just add each image however you want it. So let's put final project proposal as the title. And so this post is not like your final documentation post. It's not written for a general audience. It's more written for like a specific audience. And this is a good practice to get into writing for different types of audience. When you're writing for like a client, if you're proposing a project to a client, you're going to talk about the project differently than if you're writing for a general audience. So for my final project, I created, or I guess we want to say in the future, I will create a 2D game where the player controls a cat that eats birds flying in the sky. Okay, so this can be very simple. You don't have to write a lot, but just establish the basic concept of the game. And any features that you want to add that sort of go beyond what we've covered in class, you want to include here. So if you're adding both some obstacles and some rewards, you could mention that. So you could say, I added, this is not something I'm actually going to do, but just to imagine it. So I added a mouse obstacle that attacks the cat to create a more balanced gameplay. So the description should be very straightforward, very simple. Just describe what you created and how it might be different based on your theme or based on the content that you decided to use. So then we want to include the sprites or graphics that we used in the game. So we can say for the player sprite, I used these animations, and let's open another window and let's make a new folder for documentation. So say P5 final, and I'll throw all these guys in there. And so for the art, we can go to the original art. So we have, where's our character art? We have these 3 character animations. So we can grab all 3 of those and throw them in here. And again, if we put multiple animations, it'll create like a little gallery. And if you like the way that looks, you can just leave that as is. If you want to add each image separately, that's fine. And then for the bird sprite, I used, or you could say created these animations. We just want to collect everything together so we can see everything that goes into the game. That's pretty much it for the animations. We can also talk about the sounds. So for the background music, I used the song, and then we're going to put a link to the song. So I saved the link to the song up here. So I'll just copy this link and paste it here. And for these sound effects I used, you might have more than one sound effect, just include all the sound effects. So I use this meow sound for the sound effect. I'll just paste this in here. We don't want to embed this, so I'm just going to click convert to a link. And so let's take a look at that. So it should be pretty straightforward, but also pretty comprehensive. We want to see all the work that went into the game. As I mentioned, for the final project documentation, we'll do something slightly different. We'll include a video and just a more straightforward description. But for this proposal, we want to show everything that's going into the game. So if you have more sprites, if you have other features, if you have other stuff that you added into the game, make sure to include all of that stuff in your proposal. Okay, so of course, when you're done with this, you're just going to publish it. It won't. Oh, I have to select a category. Okay, let's make a category for this. We'll say final project proposal, and add a new category. And so we'll take a look at these in class next week and, sort of say, this looks good, it looks like you've got everything you need, or if it looks like you may need some more components, then we'll go over that then so you can have a good sense of what you need to do before the project is actually turned in. So I'll put a link to this in the video as well, but it's obviously on the class blog. This doesn't have a separate assignment, it's part of the final project, so you don't need to turn it in separately, but we will look at them in class and review them. So it's a chance for you to get feedback on the concept for the final project. All right, I'm going to stop the video.